England had problems getting Kane into the match and not possessing any ruthlessness out wide to create chances. There wasn't any penetration into the box by anyone really, and back passes by the fullbacks made it easy for Scotland to defend. So how did England fix this? Using the sponsor for this video, OneFootball, a brilliant app for your phone to browse player stats and the latest news, we can use the app to look at the stats for the England v Scotland match. England's one shot on target shows that the ball isn't getting into the right positions. This needs to be better. I'd also say that the pass accuracy is something to look at. Interestingly, I'd say that the 82% accuracy in the opposition half isn't something you really want. It actually wants to be lower than that. 83% shows that you're probably being too safe. England need to take risks. Some of the passes you make won't work, but the best attacking players you see in the Premier League, De Bruyne, Fernandes, don't have good passing accuracy. They lose possession often because they play passes that have a low percentage of going where they want it to. But when that pass they're attempting comes off, you've got a great chance created. OneFootball is also brilliant for looking at player stats. So Harry Kane, as we can see, 0 goal contributions, and his attacking stats are a sad sight to say the least. 1 successful dribble and 1 offside are the only things that aren't displaying a 0. We'll be analysing how that can change, but to gain access to all these stats and the latest news, everything that you'd ever need for Euro 2020, download OneFootball with the link in the description. So in the Scotland match, England were setting up in a 4-3-3. We saw Declan Rice taking up central positions where Mason Mount and Calvin Phillips went to either flank. Mount was on the left and Phillips was on the right. But what this meant for England is that when they went to the wide areas, that they had no one in a central position. So Mason Mount was going to the left and Phillips to the right. I always felt like there was a gap in that attacking midfield position, so I think this is where a player is needed. Instead, in the next match, I'd like to see England go with a 4-2-3-1, where we can probably see Mason Mount in a central position, Grealish on the left and Sancho on the right. Because currently what we're seeing, or at least what we saw in the last match, was the ball go out wide and then back passes all the time. Having a player in a central attacking position can help the ball carrier when they're out wide. The back passes really came by the fullbacks, which isn't great for England because these are the players that you want to be positive, forward thinkers. The ball goes out to them and they're offering the width on the pitch, so you want them to drive forward with the ball. But instead, when we look at the stats for these players, and especially Reece James, he played 51 back passes. Luke Shaw only played 25, so he wasn't that bad. Now you could say that that was due to Scotland defending well, however I think there's ways that England can cause the opposition more problems themselves. I believe in the next game, England need to be more positive in their starting formation. Go with the 4-2-3-1, have another player on the right to make the forward runs, and that's probably Jadon Sancho. I really want to see him. And then have a player to give a passing option centrally in Mason Mount. I think he can have an impact. That central attacking player could be Mason Mount, or maybe you move Jack Grealish there. That could be a really good option. With him coming central, I'd put Phil Foden on the left wing because you've got Jadon Sancho as the player to make the runs in behind. So I believe this would be a way to get Grealish and Phil Foden in the same side, as you've got Kane and Sancho to be the goal scoring players. And in this formation, what it really helps with is creating the triangles out wide to pass around the defenders, and this makes it harder for the opposition to keep track of runs from different players, and they would find it difficult to cut out the quick passing from these players in the wide position. I think this can simply help England to reduce the amount of back passes being made by the fullbacks. Another way that England can improve is breaking quicker. There's times when England can attack quicker. Maybe the opposition are attacking, then England win possession and you think, okay, here we go, they're going to counter-attack. However, the build-up is then still slow and they're trying to be patient. At that point, you're not taking advantage of the work you've just done in winning the ball. I understand Southgate's game of being patient and building up, however, there's times when England just need to go for it and take advantage of that opportunity that they've got to counter-attack, pass a little quicker, get it to your forward players, create a chance. So in the next match, I've sort of alluded to it already, however, I think the team just needs freshening up against the Czech Republic. For me, I'd bring some different players into the team, give them a chance, just change it up for the next match and see what happens. Jadon Sancho, get him in the starting 11, Jack Grealish, start him. Jude Bellingham, I think he even starts for me in the midfield next match. The fact is, whatever team England put out in the next match, it should be beating the Czech Republic. So this is the game to experiment a little bit, still be safe and make sure that you win the match, don't concede another goal. England have done well so far in keeping clean sheets in both their matches, however in this game take a risk. Let the players express themselves a little more in the attack, as it can only be a good thing against an opposition who will find it difficult against these players. England just need to go for it. So as said, Southgate wants England to be patient with their build-up, which is fine when you're playing out from the back, even in the middle third, but when the ball gets to the players like Shaw, James, Grealish, Foden, Sterling, Sancho, these are the players that you want to take a risk for the team. So build up safely, keep possession with Rice, Phillips and Bellingham, but play a bit quicker when the ball gets to your forwards and you're in and around that final third. Now, even before the tournament, I was saying that Southgate was really going to be judged on the subs that he makes during games, because the advantage and the good thing about England in this tournament is the depth that they have in attack. And this tournament is different. You've got 5 subs to make. You haven't just got the 3, you've got an extra 2. So you might as well use them. If you went with this starting 11 that I want, then you're looking at Sterling, Foden, Rashford, Phillips and Chilwell being your players to come off the bench. Of course, in my starting 11 here, Jadon Sancho starts, but I can't believe he's not been brought off the bench once. In the Scotland game, it was crying out for him. So next match, England need to be more positive in their starting formation, change up the team, give other players a chance, continue with your safe possession in deep areas but take a risk when you get into the final third, freshen up the team, utilise the bench, and England should be able to win the match. Please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy this analysis. It really helps the videos getting found, and for more insight and analysis on Euro 2020, subscribe to Route 1.